this thing with Rhonda. Jesus. Driving her home after dinner, she's snotting up the dashboard of my Plymouth the whole way because she's embarrassed in front of Connie and Joey, the kids, and me, because she spit food across the table or something. And something about her breasts. Some mammary malfunction, both spigots linking, through her blouse or some shit. I told her, look, I'm married, and Ronnie, I got kids. I've seen leaky tits before. It's nothing to get in Dutch about. Hey, if there's one thing Rhonda should not be ashamed about, it's her upper frontal superstructure, Make that two things. Man. Well, she slapped me a wet one on the cheek and thanked me for cheering her up and waggled her heart-shaped pillow of a derriere into this shit-heat tenement where she lived. So when I went in after her, I kept thinking the place should be fucking condemned. Followed Rhonda up to her door and I knocked. When I knocked, it swung open. I mean, shit side of Uptown and not even a working lock on the door. Jesus. Well, Rhonda had slipped out of her blouse and was bending over a dresser drawer, and out of it she lifted up this tiny baby and starts breastfeeding it. She had this tiny baby and she'd left it all the time closed up in this sock drawer so she could come over to my place and socialize. She might have seen me coming because when she turned around towards me, no top on, and baby glommed onto Gazunga number 2, she didn't look too surprised. Christ, that was a beautiful sight. It's like some fucking stained glass Madonna. And Rhonda told me to close the door. I did. And I just watched her with the baby. And after a minute or two, she took me by the hand and led me to her bed. Out of our clothes in a second, she pulled me into her from behind and she kept breastfeeding her kid. It sounds fucking perverted, but believe me, it was the closest thing I had to a religious experience since my first communion. And I handed her some cash as I was leaving, but she took it the wrong way. I told her I didn't mean it that way. She's putting the kid back to sleep in the drawer. And I told her the money was for her and the kid. I'd get her more. Anything to keep her off the streets. Because I had no idea she had a kid to take care of. It broke my heart. It fucking did. I mean it. Rhonda would look me in the eye when I tossed the money on the dresser, but I meant what I said. I'm full of shit in many respects, but one-on-one, I always keep my word. So I'm back out on the Plymouth, and a piece of brick the size of my fist shatters my windshield. And I see this kid, no more than 10 or 11, running. So I pull out my service revolver. I run after the little fuck in the pouring rain. He ducks down an alley, and me, my mind full of Rhonda and Connie, the windshield, my kids, don't even hit me that this yard rat's leading me somewhere till a broomstick swings out at me from behind a dumpster and thwacks me square across the chest. Dead in my tracks, winded. I fall back. My service revolver goes flying, and this slimy piece of shit named Walter Lawrence jumps out from behind the dumpster, the man behind the broomstick, and he calls to the kid, "The gun, Willie, grab the gun!" And he comes at me, twirling the stick like a baton, one end of it sharpened, charred like a giant number 2 pencil. And Walter tells me, "Not much of an escort without your piece, are you, Officer Lombardo?" And I had dealings with this fuck 100 times before. And last time, with Rhonda's jaw cracked, her eyes swollen shut, I recognized Walter's handiwork and I had it out for him. I told him I'd shoot him on sight the next time I saw him. I should have seen this coming. Which is always nice to say in hindsight, right? So Walter tells Willie, keep the gun trained on me while he comes jabbing at me with his black-tipped broomstick, telling me it's been a long time since he had shish kebab cop in this part of town. He tells me I mess with Rhonda, I'm messing with more than his property. I'm messing with his income, which is, in these parts, is a small matter of life and death to some people. Walter jabs at me again with the broomstick. I'm barely able to breathe. I roll away, clutching my chest. I bruised 3 ribs, it felt like. One of them cracked. Then, just as I'm stumbling to my feet, reaching for Willie's with the gun, Walter jabs at me again and sticks me deep in the thigh. And my whole head went white. And I must have let out some kind of scream, because when I could hear again, Walter jumping up and down the alley, laughing his ass off, how he got me squealing like a stuck pig. Walter came at me again, but this time at my chest, but I backhanded the point of the stick away. I yanked it crosswise towards me, Walter along with it, and I clocked him one square in the jaw with the top of my head. And he got the worst of it. I got a pretty hard head. Off balance, I tossed him to one side and I slapped him across the face once or twice with the stick. 3 or 4 times maybe. I don't remember. I swung around on my good leg, and I was actually about to drive the point into that stick through his fucker's eyeball when he shouts to Willie, "Shoot the motherfucker, Willie, shoot!" I didn't stick him, but I shoulda. Hindsight again. Instead, I snapped the broomstick in half and chucked the pieces over a fence. And then I limped over to Willie, my hand out, asking for my service revolver. He's got it locked on me, both hands shaking all the time. Walter, his coach, his mentor, prodding him on with, "Shoot him, Willie, shoot him, you pussy whip shit motherfucker." All the time, I clocked the streets of Chicago. You can see it in the eyes. I don't know what it is. Sometimes something's dead in the eyes. It tells you the person behind that trigger means business. Willie didn't have it. Not yet. I just took the gun away from him. And I asked him, "Is this your friend?" By this time, he's crying. He's just a kid. His brother, he tells me. "Your brother put you up to throw that brick?" "Yes, sir," he says. Walter chimes in, "Don't talk to him, Willie. Just shut the fuck up." Willie tells me that Walter told him if he threw the brick at my car, he'd get him a puppy. So Walter tells Willie, "No way you're ever getting a puppy now, chicken shit." And something died in Willie's eyes just then. Sometimes that's all it takes. And then he ran off. With my good leg, I kicked Walter across the jaw for that last crack. It's a habit with me. I like to have the last word. Plus, this abusive crap breaks my heart, So when I get back that night, Joey's sleeping on my family room couch. Connie's laying a blanket over him. I ask her, "Don't this 8-ball ever go home?" And right off the bat, she lays into me, "Where the hell you been, Denny?" I tell her I'm a cop. It's a 24-hour job. Then she sees all the blood. She helps me to the bathroom, starts tugging at my pants, and I tell her, "I can do it, Connie. Christ, just lay off me." It's a little too forceful, maybe. Yeah, because where I've been, what I've done, I can't stand her near me, touching me, and she knows it, too. The way I can't look her in the eye. Backing out, she tells me, "All right, Denny, do it yourself. You're the man of the family. Do everything yourself." And my pant leg was soaked with blood. In the middle of my right thigh was this deep black hole the size of a nut. I swing my right leg into the bathtub. I grab a bottle of rubbing alcohol off the back of the toilet. I pour it on and my head went white all over again, but I didn't scream. I didn't shout. I bit hard into a towel. I took it because, I don't know, my sons were sleeping and they rely on me to be strong for them, And in a strange way, I was glad for the pain. Wished it would have hurt worse. I mean, I betrayed Connie that night. I felt deep down I deserved it.